Hey Kipsters, we are going to take a small section of the text officials say coronavirus targets the elderly and ill, children unaffected, to find and explain the author's purpose and central idea. So we would already take our pre-annotated text using our nonfiction thinking jobs. Now I want you to use as I specifically check and look for the author's purpose and central ideas. If I would have used my nonfiction thinking jobs, the process is going to go a lot smoother. So the very first thing I want to ask myself after I gist and annotate is, one, what are the main ideas or central ideas of the text? Well, one, I already have my central idea or pop-out sentence highlighted because I did that as a part of my nonfiction thinking jobs when I annotate. And this can be for the section, paragraph, or whole text. So you can use the same process. It just depends on the scale of which you're going to use it. One, find the pop-out sentence. I think I did that. Two, a hint to make sure I found a pretty good pop-out sentence is to check if it's the first or last sentence, because those might help. Well, this is the last sentence of the first paragraph of this section, and it even relates to this title here. Lastly, once you think you've got it, ask yourself once more, does your sentence really tell you what the paragraph is mostly about? Well, looking at my central idea here, I have an example of someone who can lower the fatality rate, how healthier versions of lungs are also a way to lower the fatality rate. So those are some evidences or supporting details that help me select this central idea. Now, you don't stop there. That's just one piece of the entire skill. It's layered skill here for us, guys. We need to now ask ourselves, why did the author want me to know this? Is there a call to action, or what does this teach me about life, or what's the big message here? Well, when I'm looking at this, it really seems like the author is trying to suggest or hint that the healthier we are as people, the more likely we are to survive the coronavirus. So now I want to look at the author's craft here and think about what was the author's purpose for the audience. Did he want to persuade me, argue, to whom or what? Or do you want to inform or explain? And for me, I'm thinking he probably wants to inform me and just let me know that, hey, making these healthier choices will probably, lead to you surviving and overcoming the coronavirus. Lastly, what's their point of view? I want to notice the author's role or perspective, opinion or evaluative words, imagery or strong language, omissions, whatever they leave out, or what do they emphasize. If I would have used my nonfiction signpost, I probably would have pre-annotated for this already. Again, remember, if you're annotating ahead of time using your nonfiction thinking jobs, it's going to make the process much smoother, and you're just kind of checking yourself. So here, the author's purpose, he gives several examples of how you can lower this fatality rate, or how certain cases have a lower fatality rate in order to combating the coronavirus. Now, I want to pull it all together, but first, I need my criteria for success. I want to make sure to include these 4 pieces here. And let's see if I do that. So, and I'm going to put it all together. What is the author's purpose for purpose and central idea for writing this section? So once I craft it all together, which I already have, I'm going to put it here. Here we go. So you can go ahead and check the CFS for me as I read through my response. The author's central idea of this section is that we have to look at the entire spectrum of cases of those affected by the coronavirus, because there are possible ways we can lower the fatality rates. I can infer that the author's message is that the healthier people stay, the more likely they'll survive the virus. For example, a healthy 72-year-old is not as great at a risk as an unhealthy 72-year-old. Furthermore, I can insist the author's purpose for writing this section is to inform people how they can possibly combat the coronavirus from home. In this case, living a healthier lifestyle is key regardless of age. The author uses a variety of expert opinions and most likely agrees that living a healthy lifestyle is a useful way to help yourself combat the coronavirus, because after all, it's just a sickness that in the end that we can overcome, especially if we're healthy and we have a good immune system. So that might have been a lot to process. These are all your thinking steps. You're going to have to infer sometimes. You're going to have to double check your central idea. You are going to try the same with another section of the text. But for right now, just kind of process everything you saw and get ready to try in the next section.